What's up guys, it's Selka and welcome to this weekly analysis. So during the week we've got to see some up move, some drop, and today I'll let you know what are my thoughts about it, what will be the next move, and what I will be looking for to trade during the week. So let's get into it. Alright, so starting with Bitcoin, quick reminder, we've got to break this this top right there, right, from the previous correction, which was a daily correction we had that came and broke the low. So basically you see that this is a correction, all right, and it came and break that low. So from now on this could be the bottom, all right, and this could have been the bottom since we were somewhere in there. Even though this looked like pretty corrective, this can still be the bottom. Now what will be happening off that is that the fact that you break this top makes you on a potential reversal, which is where you break the previous correction, you can go on a reversal. So this can start the up move, because on daily chart we are looking for an up move. On the weekly at least we are looking and sorry for that, we are looking for a reversal. And let me mark it. So something like this makes correction, you know, something that will go up and slowly up, all right, at least. And the other scenario is where this is an expanding flat and this will come and break the top, all right. So just by safety you aim for the first scenario, which is a correction for another drop, but we know that this expanding can happen and we can break the top. Now it's not going to be looking like this, all right. It should go up slowly, making correction until you get that euphoria phase where people start to see the Bitcoin back again at all-time high, and then this can go peak at last, all right. But at first it will be correction, so we get time to see it and see eventually if that's a correction for another drop or if that's a move that will come and break the top. Now out of the structure I think it's pretty clear for the daily one. Now you got to know that we broke the top, like I said right there, and this means that we need a correction in order to invalid this potential expanding that can still happen, all right. This being an A move, all this being a B move, and this being a C move for another drop, it's still possible, right? But the chance right now are not that high. But if we get a correction, so if we complete this correction, running flat for example, for another push, now you almost reduce the chance to maybe near zero, at least, so maybe 10%, but it will be a good opportunity to aim for a long, for upside potential, since you know that the chance of breaking back that low is near zero, all right. So now what I'm looking for in this structure, this reminds me exactly of the daily chart, all right. You have an impulse, you have a drop as your A move, this could be a B move, all right, where you break the top, then you have a B, and then a C that come and break the low. So at this point right there, it's either an expanding, like I said for the daily chart, either an expanding that will come and break the top straight up, or a correction for another low before breaking the top. So that's what I will be aiming for right now, seeing if that move is a correction. As of right now, looks like it's correction. We're gonna see it in the smaller time frame, but this looks pretty corrective. So it can be something like this, make another new low, and then come back up. But the thing you gotta remember is as long as this bottom is not broken, this will go up and tag the top. So I think last analysis I told you guys that this was a running flat, this was perfect, this could have come and break the top. Actually it was perfect. I was still seeing this pattern to come and break the top. It was the most probable thing, but we've got to see this drop and a range. So if you were in the trade somewhere right there, you see the drop and you see the range, that's where you get out manually. You don't wait for the stop loss to get triggered, you just get out manually, because this means that this correction will this is the correction that will potentially give the move. So even if the structure is looking bullish, if you got a smaller move that aims for a downside, that means that you will most likely get a downside move. It's always the smaller structure that wins. Even if you have a clean one in the, for example, the 1 hour chart, if you see it range in the 15-minute chart, then it's most likely going down, even though this look clean, all right. So that's why you never really put all your money into a trade. even though the structure looks pretty clean, because you cannot know if this will happen. So in my opinion, this would have come and break the top most of the time. Now I think we've got a news or something, interest announcement from the Fed or something like this that made this dump. And when you give a retracement to an impulse, a retracement that looks like this, or a retracement that come over the half of the impulse, that means that after range this should come down. So it's no longer an impulse for the start of the up move that we're looking at this running flat. So now what we're gonna do, we broke the low, same thing as the daily chart when we broke it. Now we broke it, it's either an expanding and this will come and retest the top, all right, or a correction for another drop, and then we'll be looking for buy setup to retest the top. All right, so that's the goal right now, waiting for this pattern. You could have taken the buy setups, for example this one right there, but when you see this retracement right there, that's where you wait for a correction to get out. So if you took the buy right there, wait for a correction and get out, because if you get that correction, we're most likely retesting the low, and you could have you will have a better entry later on. All right, so that's for Bitcoin. Nothing too complicated. We're waiting right now, because as long as this low is not broken, this is bullish. All right, we're gonna have an up move, and then we're probably gonna have a drop, but we will have time to see it together. So that's it for Bitcoin. Ethereum this time. So Ethereum, this one looks cleaner. All right, let me go in the smaller time frame. And actually I was gonna say Bitcoin, I need to go in the smaller time frame to let you know about, yeah, that's how I do it. All right, you put that trend line, let's put it right there. All right, just because it's the last low that came. So basically you don't put it like this, because otherwise this move came under that trend line. You really need to put it like this. And now if that range like this, for example, then this will come and retest the low. If it doesn't, if you see that come up over that trend, make another drop, then this is most likely a flat, all right, a regular flat, for example, for another push. And this push could be either the last one before the drop, or the one that will be starting this upside for the expanding, if that's the expanding. So basically it's like this. Now this one, all right, this one is clean, I haven't seen that. So basically I think it's a running flat. Yes, it is. You have this drop, this move like this, correction, other move, another drop, and this is to me a running flat. So you have an A move, a B move, and a C move. So I would not be surprised if this range and gives another push. Now, is this push going to retest the top? In my opinion, it will. All right, in my opinion, as long as you don't see it range like this, I think this push will probably be the one that will break the top. So it could be a good trade. I think Ethereum looks pretty good. It's clearly corrective. All right, now let me tell you about my thought process seeing something like this. So you see that impulse right there down, and this one down. These look sharp, these looks like impulses, they look like this. All right, now compare those move right there, this one and this one, compare it to this one. See how this one went like this? So when you see a move that goes like this after an impulse, you know that this is a correction. You just got to know it's correction for what impulse, and you know that most of the time it's the correction for the previous impulse. So you know that this impulse is giving this correction, and 90% chance after a correction you get another impulse. So most of the time after a correction you get another impulse. So let's expect this move, and then because of that impulse we're going to be expecting another drop. So right now, as long as this bottom is not broken, it can either go back and make a push, or simply go up from that point. And if it does, be careful at the top. I think it will give another retracement before going up, just to complete this running flat. So that's for Ethereum. Link, same thing. This is potentially a correction for upside. Now you see, this is exactly what I meant by if it's range right there, you give it for another low before having an up move, because you don't want it to do that. You want it to do something like this. See, impulse, flag. So even that, if it goes for an impulse and a flag, you can try it. But if it keeps ranging right there, this is no good. All right, this means that this is a correction for that impulse, and we are trying to get a correction for an impulse up if we want to try to ride this trade, right? So that's the difference. If you get a correction for that drop, is different than getting a correction for an up move. So that's where it's a buy setup, and that's where it's a sell setup. So I hope you can get the difference between those. So drop, if it's range, it's a correction for a drop. That means it's gonna drop. But if it goes up and it's range, it's a correction for that up move and not the drop. You see? So for this one, wait for that correction and try it to give another push. This push could be for a running flat right there and give another drop. So ABC right there, and before dropping and then going up, but could also simply go up if that's a B wave. I don't think it's the case, but sometimes it goes like this, even though it doesn't look like a B wave. But the best we can have is like a B wave that is well developed. So I would rather try it if it was looking like this than try it right there. I mean, for the buy setup. So this is more risky. But it's still upside, and yeah, it's still upside. This one, I think this one will come and retest the top right now because of that move. So Matic, all right, Matic is different. This one I would draw a trend line, trying to find where this could go wrong. So I think this is a running flat, this is a regular flat, so both correction are done in my opinion. Now you're on a brand new move, and this move is an A move from now. So the goal is looking for that B wave before having that C wave, right? So that B wave and then the C wave. Now if it goes under the trend and range, you're probably going to go deeper than expected. But as long as you're over the range, you should trade on the trend. And that means if you get a buy setup, you try it, and this could go up for a B wave, and then either a running flat or a regular flat, you will have another drop before going up. So you can try it. Personally, I don't really trade on B waves. I rather wait for that B wave to be done and trade the C wave and then the up move. But sometimes you can try to trade the B wave, even though it's slow. All right, it's like trading this, it's slow, but I rather trade the impulse. All right, so trade this, take a buy setup and trade this or this one, better than trading within this correction. Right, I don't know if you can get what I say, but basically this is most likely going to be slow, and I'd rather wait for this to be done and trade the part which will be looking like this. BNB, alright, BNB is clean. BNB is pretty clean right now. Reminds me of Matic right there. But this actually reminds me of this piece. But we're gonna take a look at it right now. So you have either right there, either a running flat, which I'm not super fan, but I think it will break the top either way. So if that's not a running flat, which I think it's not the case, I don't really think it's a running flat, but it could be actually. But I rather just take the buy right there, because it's still looking like a buy. This is looking like a correction for that impulse that I just drew right there, and this will probably come and retest that top. So if that's a running flat, it will retest that top too. But just to be more safe, I will simply aim for that one and then wait if it gives a retracement, because it can surely do something like this where it goes up, break the top but doesn't break this one, and then come back down and make simply a bigger flat. So that's where I'll be careful. So the TP should be right there, and the move, even if it comes back right there, as long as this bottom is not broken, this will go up. And like I said, if it breaks the top, I'll consider this move a running flat, I think, but if it doesn't, then it will be a regular flat. And actually, you can even consider it a future running flat if it breaks the low, something like this, because this looks like a correction on its own, right? I'll rather see this as a correction on its own, see this as a contracting, see this as the top, and this as the A wave. So I'll be waiting for the B wave to be done, trade the C wave, and trade this impulse. Hex, let me see the bigger time frame. So Hex is still on that running flat. So I know I've been calling the sell for quite some time, but it's still under those lows. And as long as it's under those lows, I will not take buy in this this zone, simply because I know sometime it can simply dump, make a correction, and go straight up down. All right, and I don't want to be stuck in the trade if it does that. That's why, as long as this bottom is not broken, I'm being careful. I'm looking for sells. But if it's range, right, if it gives a range, something like this, especially if it gives that, then I'll switch and go for buy in this zone, even though this is most likely looking like a running flat, because you have the scenario where it's done right there, which I don't think is the case. But you also have the scenario where it's simply an end of a structure, right? And then this is a reversal, especially if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up. I think this will go up too. But as long as I don't have this, I'm keeping this as a running flat, which is a channel that will slowly come back down and break the lows. So for this one, I think it's sells, so look for a sell setup. Now this Litecoin, in the smaller time frame, we're gonna take a look. So Litecoin, for this one, I think this was a correction on its own. So did it break the top or not? Let's find out. Actually, if it did or not, I'm not sure. I think it did not. I think it tagged. All right, let's say it did. All right, if it did break the top, then this is most likely a correction. This is most likely an A move. This is another A move. All right, this is a B move. We'll complete a C wave. We'll break the low again, make a bigger C, because this will become a bigger B with this 3 wave, and then come back up. So I think it's a future running flat that we've been going on right now, and this will lead right there, this B wave in 3 part, C wave, and this will make a running flat for an up move. Now if it didn't break the top, all right, if this didn't break the top, then this is a correction that is done. All right, this is a correction that is done, because it's most likely a regular flat that is done. Break the top, and this will be an A move. We'll have a B wave like this, and then a C wave before going up. So both different. We need to check if this came and break the top, if this move did. But actually, I'd rather aim for this B wave if I'm not sure, because this can come and break the low without breaking this top. But in the other way, in the other scenario, this will break the top, come back down, and go up. AVAX. Yeah, this one is clean. I've been looking at this one particularly because this is, to me, looking like an A move. Sorry. This is looking like an A move. This could be a B wave. Alright. And then this C wave, if it range right there, will break the low. And this will be a good trade to take. So I'm actually looking for that one. I think AVAX is one of the cleanest right now, at least if it breaks the top, and it's on a 40%, which is quite interesting. So what this structure reminds me of is exactly this: when you have a drop, a correction, another drop for A, B, C, and after what you see an up move that come and retest the top. So drop, correction, drop. When it comes and break this low, this one, then we will have an up move that will come and retest the top. So I'm looking for the same pattern, this one too. All right, this one was ugly, but still A, B, C, come and retest the low, then you look for an up move that will come and break the top. So we know that AVAX has been doing regular flat for quite some time, and they are most likely clean. So I think if it comes and break the low, it will be a regular flat for an up move. Alright, so this one was a good trade if you take it. I said right there that this could be a regular flat, breaking that low. But if it range, and I said that on my last weekly analysis, I think, or the top 30 market cap, I said that if it keeps ranging, this will be a sell, and if it's a sell, it can break it can actually break that low, because if that's an A move, this is a B wave, and this is a C wave for a downside regular flat that you can see the top right corner as always, then this will slowly come and retest the low. That's why you gotta be careful. But this correction right there was a perfect entry for sells, and now I'll be waiting to see if this goes down like this, makes another correction under that trend, then it's even bearish. Alright, but if you see an impulse and a flag, then I'll probably switch my mind and aim for another a bigger structure. Alright, so something like this, then drop, and then up, break the top again, and then probably another drop later on. But let's just wait and see if it goes like this. All right, especially if you see it under that trend. Let's say this one. If it goes under the trend and flags, you know that you have a lot of chance of going down and retesting the low. So this was a good sell, right there. Good sell setup, good sell setup, good sell setup, and the best one right there, which is a 4-hour sell setup. This was perfect to try out. But yeah, let's wait for XMR. EGLD, let's go in the smaller time frame. All right, so this one is clean. I think this one is pretty clean. You have a retracement right there, a move. This could be a B wave, right? Just like AVAX could be a B wave, where AVAX is somewhere right there. This already made its correction, came back, broke the low. So this one is ready to go up and retest the top. So if you see it flag, I would put an entry above the flag and wait for it to come back and retest the top. Now if it doesn't flag and go straight up down, you're not in the trade, and you'll be waiting for another opportunity, another flag to come and try to trade it to retest the top. What you got to be careful of, if you get a lot of correction right there, right, a lot of range move, then you could probably have a complex structure where you have another up move and then another drop, which will be a running flat in your B wave. So something will be like this. You'll have an A, B, C, but this will be a B wave. It's smaller A, smaller B, smaller C, and then a bigger C to complete this up move. But in both cases, right there, I would be looking for buy setup. If it comes back down, buy setup again, because I won't be in the trade. So for example, let's say if this started to range right there, you put your entry above the top. If it goes down, you're not even in the trade, all right? But if you have another impulse correction, for example this one, entry above, but if it goes up, it will take you with him on the trade, and will go up on the direction that you're expecting. So that's the tip. Now DOGE. All right, DOGE, we were seeing a drop, all right, and this went down. So DOGE, there's two ways of seeing this structure. I think actually we got to understand if that's a corrective move, if all this is a corrective move, but I think it is not, because I think it is not actually right now, because if this range more than this went up, this will be a correction and we'll have another up move like I'm expecting right there. So right there, the thing is, as long as this one is broken, which is it is, if I get a buy setup, I'll try it out to come and retest the top. But if I see it range, I'll forget about it and probably go aim for downside, which could be going a little deeper, so something like this, and even breaking that low. So I won't be surprised if it does break that low, but as of right now, I'm still waiting for a correction of that move up, for another move up, right? Simply because in the bigger structure, this to me looks like a potential flat. So you have a potential A move, potential B move, and a potential C move. So this is a B. So this could probably come and retest the top. Now you need a setup, and it went pretty slow. So it came pretty slow right there. This came sharp, but this came pretty slow, and that's why you gotta be careful if it giving a sell setup. For example, this, something like this, all right, and it just dumped and correction. So at this point, you will probably be aiming that low before going up, because this is pretty slow. That's the only reason why. But to be honest, I'm still seeing this as a bullish pattern from now. Could be a regular flat for another upside. So I'm looking for buy setup right there, and if it range, then I'm forgetting about it. It will probably retest the low. So that's how I think about this one. Now dot right there, correction probably right there, another push. Now I'm waiting for the B wave and then the C wave before going up. I think this is done. I think this is done too. I think this could be part of a correction, all right, because it's pretty sharp, and if that's part of correction, you'll see this pretty complex, and I'm not sure about it. So let's just either I would not see this as a running flat. It is possible that this goes straight up like this, but I will probably be expecting a slow move, then a drop, and go up. So make sure I'm on a new flat and give this an A move for this part and be waiting for the B wave. So just like a few others, I think this one has just started its correction, so I'll be looking for buy, but being careful of that move because it looks pretty slow. It can go and drop just like this one, can go and drop before having an up move. NASDAQ. Alright, so this one, I was looking for a buy setup right there, another push, and then a drop for this potential running flat. I think we are starting it right now. So we've got, I was looking at this trend right there, waiting for the trend to break from at the bottom and make a correction, which will lead us to think that this is a running flat instead, and this is starting the C wave. So I think we are starting the C wave, and whenever this one will be done, we'll have another push up to break the top. Now if it drops and gives a correction like this, then we are probably going to retest this low. So that's what we're going to be careful of. As of right now, every sell setup is good to take. As we know, the goal is to reach somewhere right there. So we're still up right there. So every sell setup, you can take it. As long as this bottom is not broken, you're going to see a reaction right there, probably for a reversal. S&P is cleaner, but the sell setup are already done. So this one, I think this will go down a bit and then come back up. So like I expected, this one was clean from the top. I said either we have a regular flat for another push, then a drop for the running, or we have simply the drop for the running flat. So if you can see it, the running is there, A move, B move, and then C move to retest the top. So this will probably be what will happen. The XY. So this guys, I've been talking about it for quite some time, that this was looking at an envelope structure, and I was looking for at least a correction of that piece, something like this, and I think we're in it. So now we have a sharp move waiting for the correction. When the correction will be done, another sharp move, and this will probably be a correction for another drop. So dropping, correction, another drop. So wait for that correction, take a buy probably, and then let's aim for a sell. USOIL. Let me find about the bigger structure. Alright, so this one doesn't look, compared to the others, it looks like it was doing an end of a structure right there, because you make lows while making small correction. But you've got right there a regular flat that is enough for this end of a structure to go down. So from that point, we are stuck in this range right there, and it's probably going to break the top one more time before going down. So I see this correction as a correction on its own, breaking the top and then going down, and this will be a structure like this. All right, so a correction like this before going down. Gold, I think we're on a move. All right, so I'm waiting for the B wave, C wave, something like this, and this will be a perfect setup to come and retest the top, because the goal remains the same on the bigger structure. So the goal is to retest the top again. If you have a B wave and a C wave, this will be a perfect opportunity to come and retest the top with a stop loss near this point. So it will be a good trade to try it out, because this to me looks like a regular flat, A move, B move, C move, to come and retest the top, and this is what exactly we're looking for in the smaller time frame, to also retest the top. This one a little bit more scary. I think this can come and retest the low right there before going up. Like I said many times, there's a possibility where you have a running flat right there, for example this one, and if that's the case, then this will retest the low before going up. But if you see it gives a B wave, a C wave, something like this, just like gold, then this is a perfect trade to take and retest the top. But as of right now, I would not sell it, I would not buy it. I will wait for that correction, drop before going up, or wait for that breakout of the bottom before trying up the move. So if you're already in the trade, put it on standby, you can wait, or the best thing would be to get out somewhere right there. All right, but you couldn't know what will be happening. So put it on standby and re-enter if it goes down, and make a setup, re-enter, and if it gives a correction like this, you can wait for the drop and re-enter too. Tesla. Alright, so Tesla, I think for the stocks I most likely have my little drawing. So this one, waiting for the correction, like I drew right there. Correction, a range will be happening there. When the range will be done, you'll have an up move toward upside, breaking that range, and this will go up. So reminder, in the bigger time frame, we're looking for a correction for all the drop that happened. So this will either be a correction that is done, which I don't think is the case, all right, or be a bigger correction right there for another drop before going up. So we'll get time to see it, but I think it can be an up move that will come and retest the top. It's possible. This reminds me, you see right there, it's kind of possible because this was almost looking like the same thing with a deep pullback on a deep correction. So it can simply go up and break the top, but I would not aim for that. Just to be safe, I would aim for an up move that will come near these price and then probably come back down. So let's wait for that. But it's bullish in the smaller time frame. This one is this one is looking clean. All right, I think you have a potential A, B, C, right? A move, B, C right there, and this will probably come and retest the top. So it's a good trade to try it out. I think it's looking pretty good. So I would aim for that, an up move that will come. Now if it gives a correction, be careful, but because you still have this running flat, that is possible to come and retest the low. So wait for it to clearly range right there. If it gives a setup, try it out. Wait for a range. I think it will break the top one more time. At least if it's meant to go down, it will after breaking the top. And if it's meant to go up, it will give another correction just to confirm that we're going up. Meta. This one looks like nothing from now. So I think this one is an A move. I'm waiting for the correction. It can either happen right now or drop a little bit before happening. But when this correction will be happening, that's where we'll be aiming for another drop and a push. So remember, the wave theory cannot predict what will happen if we don't have a correction. And this is exactly what we don't have. We have an up move, impulse, up move, impulse. Waiting for the correction will be the goal before aiming for a drop, and before this correction will be done so we can aim for the other impulse. All right, Google. All right, exactly like I said, this one ABC was clearly looking bearish on that move. I told you guys that this was looking like this, right, where you have an ABC. This is a regular flat for downside. You can see it in the top right corner, and this will most likely come and retest the low. Now you got to be careful in the case of this being a running flat, right? If that's a running flat, it will come and retest the top, just like this one came and retesting the top, but after it will surely drop again because the whole move is looking like a correction. Amazon, this one could be an expanding, right? But I'm not gonna aim for an expanding. But if I see a big correction, I mean, the right way to do it is that if you get a small correction, you can aim for the expanding. But if you get a big correction, you should not aim for the expanding. Aim for a small drop and then another push. So aim for that regular flat instead, right there, and not an expanding. Microsoft, same thing as Google. This will surely drop. If it's a running flat, it will come back up and then go back down. If it's not a running flat, you'll see it range right there, and this will drop and break the low before starting a new structure. So watch out for this one. If you got sells, I think it's the right moment to sell. And Riot right there, there is a possible running flat right there that is bothering me on this one. But the fact that we're ranging right there after an impulse and another impulse means that this will come and retest the top, probably drop again, complete this correction and go up. So I think it's bullish on the midterm. Now I think we are not done on this range, and this will probably last longer, but it will surely be something looking like this. And now after breaking that top, if it wants to break down and come back and retest the low, it can, but it can also just start a new move, give a correction, and just start an uptrend. So that's it for today's, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and a comment, share it to your friends, and I see you next time, where we'll be talking about NFTs, but also the wave theory on technical analysis on NFTs, which is super interesting in my opinion. So I can't wait to share with you guys, and see you next time. Peace.